It's a fantasy. Somber me, sober me. She's existing but not living, and it's because of her that I'm living this hell parallel to the success I tried to achieve, and sometimes that bothers me. Sometimes that's too hard for me to believe. So I ask, are you pursuing your dreams, or are you just sleeping?
Nickel and diming for change. Trying to buy King's dream because I'm tired of eating top ramen and window shopping. And the only thing free is pain and suffering. That's why I'm living this hell parallel to the success I tried to achieve. And sometimes that bothers me. Sometimes it's too hard to believe. So I ask, are you pursuing your dreams, or are you just sleeping? Hi, I'm DeShaun.
And I'm Johnathan.
I'm the president of the Cambridge High School Black Achievers Club Model.
And I'm secretary. I'm president of the Cambridge High School Poetry Organization.
And I'm secretary. And together we are co-founders
and presidents
of
One of Us.
Last year, I became involved with the Black Achievers because I wanted to focus on academic achievement, career development, and planning out my future.
And I became involved with the Poetry Organization because I found that creativity and expression are keys to figuring out who I am.
And then after I had met John, I then too became involved with the Poetry Organization. I felt it was a great way to relieve myself of stress and to develop my thoughts.
And then I became involved with the Black Achievers because I wanted to focus on my leadership skills and my career opportunities.
Though those are both great opportunities and we learned a lot, they still weren't enough.
Because after being in both programs, we found a gap. Those both programs were between those who could express themselves creatively and those who were well focused on their future.
So John and I came together this year to create One of Us, to embark on the ambitious mission to create change in our school and in our community by implementing in-school events and after-school activities to cultivate creativity and community in the Cambridge High School student body.
We had sessions with lyricologists, the study of lyrics. We learned the meaning of music. We had college sessions. We learned how to do FAFSA. We had FAFSA nights. And we had searches for scholarships.
And to have some fun, we also hosted a poetry slam a couple months ago that sold out. And it was a great opportunity for our peers to express themselves in school. But before we did all of that, we're going to take it back and show you where it all began. Last summer, I had an internship down at the Oasis Center, working for a program called the Real Program. In the program, the main goal is to try to help get at-risk youth who are either facing going to juvenile or who have already been through it. And the purpose is to try to get them back on track. There, I met a kid named Anthony. On one hot July day last summer, I really got to know him. We were working on a farm, weeding and gardening, doing all of these dirty things we have never done before. While all of the other kids were running around, throwing ice and water at each other, just playing around, having a good old time, Anthony was working the entire time. I was so curious, why such a big guy who is supposed to be a bad kid working so hard for something he's not even going to get paid for? So when I caught up to him, I got to know him. He told me that people think he's a bad kid just because of his size and because of his past. And then he told me that his father was never there. And his mother wasn't that involved either. And it's what he said next that really struck me deep. He said all he had ever wanted was for somebody to care. All he had ever wished for was for somebody to be there for him.
So that's why we created One of Us. For people like Anthony. Anthony needed a place to belong. And One of Us is built on helping high school students a place, giving them a place to feel accepted so that they can find a sense of belonging. Anthony knew that something was missing. So One of Us helps for you to become more aware of what you want and for you to discover what you need. But finding those resources to discovering who you are isn't always that easy. So DeShaun and I got together to help you find those resources to discovering who you are and for you to make those interpersonal connections.
But how do you do that? How do you discover what you need and figure out what you're missing? Well, you rap. And today, everybody here is going to learn how to become rappers.
Whoa, not like Eminem, not like the thing that goes on Candy, not even Tupac. But we're going to learn how to reflect, aspire, then pursue.
When you reflect, look into the mirror and ask yourself these kind of questions. Do I like the person I see in the mirror? Or am I only that person because that's who my friends want me to be? Is the clothes that I'm wearing today what I think I actually look good in? Or did I just see it on TV somewhere, so I thought I should wear it? Is the music that I listen to what I really like? Does it motivate me? Or is that just what's popular right now? So we want everybody in the audience to do something for us really quick. We want you to think of 3 words that describe who you are, hold them in your head, and raise your hand when you're ready. Got a couple here, waiting for a few more back there. All right, looks like everybody's about ready. Now that you have those 3 words, I want everybody to tell them to their neighbor.
What?
Okay, looks like we're about ready. Now, do you really like those 3 words? Do they accurately tell who you are? Or do they describe the person you wish to become? Because before we can start planning out who we want to be, we first must be honest with ourselves today.
And after you reflect, you then want to aspire. And I have 3 goals that I want to share with you today. 1, I want to, and I know I am, going to graduate May 2014 with my high school diploma.
Me too, me too.
2, I want to fully own a car that will transport me from point A to point B. Maybe my mom would be a little less stressed. And 3, I seriously want to take these shoes off. Anybody got a replacement? But the main question But the main question I want to ask you today is, how relevant are our goals to our aspirations? I mean, do my goals mean life or death? Do they determine how happy I will be or how much success I will achieve? Maybe not. But do my goals determine who I am today or who I will become? Because if you are dreaming, then you have aspirations. But if you're not dreaming, then you're just sleeping. So I ask, are you pursuing your dreams or are you just sleeping?
Are you pursuing your dreams or are you just sleeping? After we aspire and we figured out who we want to become or what we want to do, the next step is just to do it. Find people who want to do the same thing as you. Find people that have already done it and ask them a million questions. Find people that want the same thing for you and who are willing to support you. We understand that this process isn't easy and it does come with difficulty. But we still encourage the members of One of Us to rap. And we are encouraging you all to reflect, aspire, and pursue. In fact, John and I are going to share our stories with you on how we rap.
My story began with poetry. It was a journey through love. And unlike most people, my poetry was about love and relationships. And as I made that publicly aware, people began to wonder, who is it about? I was only in 8th grade. I didn't have no one particular in mind. So, a little bit later, I met this girl. And she began to tell me that my special feature is my smile. And that one thing that she knew that no one else knew was that my poetry was about her. And then I put her in the center of my universe. I began to make everything about my aspirations about her at her convenience. I wanted to be the best boyfriend, the best husband, the best father figure, the best friend. But I realized that was wrong. Because after I began to reflect, I knew that I should put myself in the middle. Figure out what I wanted to do. Figure out who I will become. And that was the right aspirations. To become something big for myself and for everyone else. And as we all may know, we all have our stories. And that was mine.
4 years ago, my mother lost work, and that caused us to lose our home and most of our possessions. In fact, we actually ended up having to move all the way out to Colorado from Nashville to stay with our grandparents so that we had a place to stay and, people around us. I took to sports to relieve myself of all of that anger, all of that hurt. I was hurt. We lost almost everything. And what I felt we lost most was our sense of belonging and our sense of security. In sports, it allowed me to get away from all of that. I had a brotherhood, people I could go run around with, play with, cut up with. I had coaches I could look up to, positive role models. Because my biological father was never there. And my stepfather wasn't around at the time either. So I looked up to those coaches. Within my sophomore year came, and I had an injury that hasn't allowed me to play sports since then. So then I began to reflect on everything that was going on in my life, because I had to figure out something new to follow, something new to do. And I realized that some of the things that I was learning in school and learning in sports was negatively affecting my relationships with my mother and especially my younger brother. In school, we're taught that if you have a problem, you yell at each other, cuss each other out, have arguments, and you fight. And that's exactly what I was doing with my younger brother. And I hated that. I hated that. So I wanted to change. I wanted to become a better big brother, a family man. So in my pursuit to becoming a better big brother, I have learned to choose my fights a little more wisely. Yeah, we still may fight over the bathroom in the mornings before school every now and then, but we don't fight near as often as we used to. And I understand that my journey to becoming a family man is not over yet. But by me publicly apologizing today was just the next step in repairing my relationship with my brother.
So we have our stories, and my story was a journey, again, through love.
And mine was through poverty and family issues.
And we just wanted to share our stories and our method and our program with everyone today.
So that you all can learn how to rap, reflect, aspire, and pursue.
But the ultimate question I want you to answer today,
are you pursuing your dreams?
or are you just sleeping?
Thank you.
Thank you.